So let's talk about Augustine's rule briefly. While the church of the patristic era mixed statements of replacement theology with hope for national Israel, so I don't want you to lead you to believe that this was solely the history of believers in Messiah Yeshua. There were Gentile believers that affirmed the Bible, what the Bible taught about a future for Israel and God's love of Israel. I'm giving you the exceptions that became the rule. However, replacement theology became the official position of the church at the time of Augustine. And so Augustine, again, it's the time of the fusion of empire and church. Augustine popularized the concept of replacement theology in his book called The City of God, which is a classic. In fact, most universities or most high schools, you'd read The City of God up until the last 20 years. It's known as a foundation of Western society. And we'll talk about the City of God in more depth when we talk about Counterfeit Kingdom. Initially, Augustine claimed that he believed in a literal 1,000-year reign of Jesus Christ, as Revelation teaches. But he later came to the conclusion that this view was carnal. It was earthly. His Neoplatonic mindset, how can good things be on earth? And so he adopted the Neoplatonic position that the reign of Christ should be spiritual, and it would be during the present church. His only new contribution related to replacement theology was to answer the frequently asked question, why has God allowed Jews continue to exist? Augustine's answer was that although Jews deserve death, they are destined to wander the earth as a witness to the victory of the church over the synagogue. And this spiritualizing method eliminated true Israel and the promises God in the Bible makes to Israel. The church has canonized Augustine as one of the official saints of the church, and theologians throughout the Roman Empire accepted his doctrines. Augustinian replacement theology has become the cornerstone of church theology. In all later developments, Eastern Orthodox, Anglican, Protestant, Reformation are inheritors and consumers of replacement theology. What about today? What about the church since Augustine? Replacement theology has been the dominant view of the church and the Protestant church even today. So here's from Dave Regan's paper, The Evil of Replacement Theology. The majority of professing Christians consider modern-day Israel to be an accident of history with no spiritual significance whatsoever. Accordingly, they would deny that God has any special plan for the Jewish people. Again, to them, the regathering of Jews and the reestablishment of Israel are simply accidents of history with no spiritual significance. Replacement theology emphasizes Israel's disobedience to God and their subsequent punishment by God and their displacement as the people of God. To put it another way, the chosen people of Israel have been replaced by the church because the nation acted wickedly and forfeited their right to be the people of God. And so replacement theology survived Augustine through the Middle Ages, the Crusades, and the Reformation. And actually, here's Karl Barth. You mentioned Karl Barth in some Protestant circles. People will get giddy, with elation. Karl Barth is quoted, "The first Israel, constituted on the basis of its physical descent from Abraham, has fulfilled its mission now that the Messiah has appeared. Israel's mission as a natural community has run its course and cannot be repeated." So, counterfeit election is a belief that I, as the church, am the elect. That's taking the truth of the word, flipping on its head and teaching it as truth.